Shamaya, you did it.
STL Music.
Is that good? Welcome back to the show. Yo, listen up, we back in the game. Sweep the league, we got the flame. Motivated to the fullest every single day. We wake up, get it in every way. Rising in two in the global inspiration. Talk this sports and top news, no hesitation. Sweep the league is back. We always coming back, that's a fact. Wanna tell them that STL Music, look what we did, where we at. Coach Jill in the house with the flow so tight. Every rubber rocks, that's we unite. Yeah, the best show, Monday through Friday. If this ain't different, they lying. We got the energy. When I say sweep, you say the league. Sweep the league, sweep the league, sweep the league, sweep the league. San Antonio, let's go. Sweep the league. Sweep the league. Sweep the league. San Antonio, let's go.
Hey, it's Rain Fernandez, and you're watching Sweep the League. Be sure to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and Facebook at Rain Fernandez, RAYNE Fernandez.
Hi, it's Sherilyn, and you're watching Sweep the League TV. Follow me on Instagram at official Sherilyn for more content.
Hey, this is George Iceman Gervin, and you're listening to Sweep the League Radio.
Sweep the league TV where legends collide. If the Cowboys fall short, we'll still ride the tide. Like Jordan in the clutch or Brady's last play. We bring the fire, keeping fans in the fray. Coach Gio and Rudy calling the shots. With Derek Straight Hall of Fame thoughts. So hit that subscribe, don't sit on the bench. Get in the game, every highlight's intense. The live stream's on till your friends don't delay. Like Kobe in the fourth, we're here to play. Sweep the League TV, where greatness resides. From the pods at the drive, till my heart's on the rise. We're all in on sports, NBA, CFB, and more for fans. By fans, it's the show you'll adore.
Made the two big ones the other night. National championship is in the balance. 13 seconds left. Florida leads it by 2.
Uzan gonna go.
Uzan, give it up. Cryer, 6 seconds, 5 seconds. Sharp.
He walked. He can't touch it.
He can't. 1 second. And it's over. Florida is back on top of the college basketball world. Championship madness. It's a great day to be a Gator.
All right, guys, welcome to Sweep the League, the Tuesday night delight edition of Sweep the League, and congratulations to the University of Florida. Those Gators took down the Cougars of the University of Houston 65-63 and are your national champs, your NCAA basketball national champs. Rudy Campos Jr. coming to you for Sweep the League TV. Be sure to go to our YouTube page, search Sweep the League TV, hit that subscribe button so you are not left out in the cold. Also, Iron Refocused Radio. As you guys have been able to tell, we've been 24/7 on Iron Refocused Radio and Sweep the League Network or Sweep the League TV on YouTube. As you're able to catch us on many, many destinations. I wanted to get all the destinations for y'all because where you can catch us is we are on D Live, Twitch, and Vaughn Live now. So those are areas you can get us. Obviously, we've been on Twitch lately, but you can add D Live and Vaughn Live as part of the extra programming you're getting here on Sweep the League TV. Again, that's Sweep Unplugged, the Sweep the League TV network, the big show, Sweep the League TV. You can get the Best Boys podcast, Dr. Pinkston's podcast, which is coming out pretty soon here. You get Iron Refocused Radio with Shmai Reed, getting all those interviews out there. Grading the Market has been active or getting to be active. Shout out to Sith Lord Elias. He's going to be joining Jacob Eric for a little bit here. Anthony's on a little, he's busy with work right now. So Jacob's got to fill in with Elias here for Grading the Market. Also, we've got tons of other stuff coming out too. STL 316 is about to get another host. So more and more podcasts, Painting Corner podcast with Austin Hartsfield, our MLB podcast. That's going to be kicking off full time in 2026. But you're going to be getting Austin Hartsfield from time to time here on Sweep the League TV, giving you MLB tidbits here and there. But again, congratulations to the Florida Gators, your NCAA National Championships 65-63 win over the Houston Cougars. Guys, real quick, let's talk about MCS General Contracting, the absolute best in the business. You can see on the hat, as we wear normally around here all the time here, Chris Leha and the boys, I'm just going to say, they take care of you ASAP all the time. It is 100% guaranteed. They will take care of you right the first time, every time, 100% backed, guaranteed by Sweep the League TV and I Am Refocused Network. They guarantee their work. Their word is their guarantee. They'll never go back on their word. That's MCS General Contracting, proud sponsors of not only Sweep the League TV, but I Am Refocused Radio, the entire network here that we have. MCS General Contracting, building a better San Antonio, one project at a time. Whew. Speaking of iHeartRadio, I'm not iHeartRadio, but of MCS General Contracting. What I'm going to tell you guys right now is something, man. This is the great part here. What is going on? What's going on the NBA? I got to talk about the NBA here, because literally what is going on with the NBA? Today we had Mike Malone being fired. As I'm checking Twitter. If you're not on me on Twitter, I apologize. There we go. We should be on the Twitter link now. NBA. The NBA is going crazy. We've heard of craziness in the NBA. Heard craziness here. Luka Doncic trade. Okay. As Spurs fans, you've seen Victor Wembanyama obviously go down with blood clots. You've seen De'Aaron Fox get traded to the Spurs. Everybody hyped up. Good start to that. But you also saw Greg Popovich be out for the rest of the season. He had a stroke. And thanks for everybody for joining tonight, because I forgot to share it on Twitter. So it's on Twitter now. That's how I know a lot of you guys weren't on here. Y'all usually be on Twitter, but Pop's out for the year. That's the craziness with the Spurs already. You know, high hopes going into the season. Didn't happen. Okay. They're probably going to end up with around 30. They're at 32 wins. They may end up at 35, maybe when it's all said and done. So that's the craziness of the Spurs. The Luka Doncic trade, that made everybody open their eyes. Taylor Jenkins being fired for the Grizzlies. Okay. You know, Doncic was a lot more, surprising, obviously. As Joel Closer, congrats to the Gators. What a meltdown by the Cougars. Yeah, we mentioned it a little while ago. Yeah, congratulations to the Gators, man. Complete meltdown by the Cougars. But then the NBA, again said, hold my beer. And Denver said, hold my beer. We've got something for you guys.
Malika, the way the season was going, 4 straight losses in a row, and just what has gone on the last couple of years with what's been described to me as a Cold War between Michael Malone and Calvin Booth, the Nuggets believed that something needed to change. Now, they were likely going to dismiss one or the other come the offseason. So Josh Kroenke and the Nuggets decided to just get it over with now, seeing how the team is performing. But listen, everyone was shocked by the timing of this. That includes Michael Malone, Calvin Booth themselves. The players, I'm told, had a meeting where Josh Kroenke addressed them after the dismissal. He decided to flip the culture, didn't want to wait. He wanted to inject some life into this team going into the playoffs, because this is a team that, like you said, has struggled a little bit the second half of the year. They've dropped in defensive rating. But Michael Malone, this is stunning for him, because he's the winningest coach in Denver Nuggets franchise history. He just led them to a championship in 2023. This is tied for the latest coaching change ever made. And it's one that probably would have happened in 2023, Malika, if he had not won the championship, just based on circumstances with him and Calvin Booth. But now that he's fired after 10 years, it's certainly stunning for the Nuggets, something that this roster is now going to have to deal with and recover from.
So, yeah. Denver said, hold my beer. Let's go ahead and let's fire Mike Malone. And on top of that, let's get rid of Calvin Booth, general manager. Okay. You're talking about a Denver Nugget team who is fourth right now in the West at 47-32. They've had their struggles, especially defensively. And I think the initial shock was, or the initial announcement was very shocking because you're thinking, golly, they're what, 2 years off from an NBA title. They didn't look good, this year towards the end here, heading into the playoffs. But you think, why make that move now? That's a question. It's a head scratcher. Why make that move now? Well, upper management, higher than the GM, ownership, said that it just kind of felt stale. They wanted to go in a different direction. This and that. So after reviewing everything, and I think after we've had a few hours to maybe, analyze things left and right, the first question that came to my mind was, did Joker sign off on this? Well, apparently he signed off on it. You're going to ask your superstar. If for those of y'all that, which is a majority, everybody was in the Tim Duncan era here. The Spurs really didn't do much without running it by Tim Duncan. Timmy had to say pretty much just about everything. So I know Jokic was asked about, Mike Malone and what they were planning to do. I'm sure he signed off on it. I know that for a fact that, as shocking as it was, after the Doncic trade, we shouldn't really be surprised about anything. Not anymore. There's no way. There's absolutely no way anybody should be shocked anymore. But I like what I'm seeing, and I'm going on the limb here because I like what I'm seeing. You've got two teams that are pretty much in the playoffs. Now, they could drop into play-in categories because right now Denver's at 47 wins. Clippers and Golden State are at 46. So it's really a logjam between the 3rd seed down to the 8th seed. So you can potentially drop down to the play-in spot. But I like what I'm seeing in a way. Now you're starting to see teams hold coaches accountable. And I mean, I'm not going to go with the Spurs on this. You can't really say that anything about Pop, which we're going to get into Pop in a little bit here. But I like what I'm seeing. I like that the Memphis front office had the balls to let Taylor Jenkins go. I like that Denver had the balls to let Mike Malone go and say, thank you for your time. Yeah, we're playoff teams, but thank you for your time. In a small way, if you really, really look at it, it shows that they are trying to make a move now. They see that they're struggling. Taylor Jenkins was having issues. Obviously, Ja Morant is being Ja Morant. We're going to get into Ja Morant in a little bit here because he's one guy that you need to watch out for. But then look at Denver. Denver is struggling. The defensive, efforts that they were giving was terrible. Joker is putting up one of the best statistical years that we've seen. Not just from a big man, but just overall. He's done amazing, and I'm actually underselling his season when I say he's done amazing. The guy, literally is neck and neck, probably ahead of SGA by a nose hair for MVP right now. And there's absolutely no doubt in my mind that when the MVP announcement comes out, that it should be a co-MVP for the first time in NBA history. There should be co-MVPs this year. Jokic and SGA both deserve MVP recognition. There should not be one over the other. You're going to have a million SGA voters. You're going to have a million people wanting to vote for Jokic. Personally, me, I think it's co-MVP. You can't put one above the other. Both of them mean the world to their teams. The Denver Nuggets are a lottery team without Joker, probably, more than likely. At best, they're the number 10 seed. Oklahoma City is a play-in team without SGA at best. Now, no disrespect to Tatum or, to anybody on Cleveland. I mean, Cleveland, obviously one of the best records, second best record in the league. No disrespect to those guys. But none of them have played up to the level of Joker and SGA. And SGA is having one of the greatest scoring. Again, another statistical year for SGA here. But I mean, these two guys, they're 1A, 1B, or 1A and 1A. I mean, you can't, there's no way they don't win co-MVP. Absolutely not. But going back to this, I love that Memphis and I love that Denver. After thinking about it, I loved that Denver made the move then, knowing that they need to get a spark from their guys. Apparently, Malone didn't get through to his players. He was losing the locker room, apparently. If you've already lost that locker room, you're a first-round exit in the playoffs. You want to make that move now. I applaud Denver. And not only that, they cleaned house. They got rid of Calvin Booth, the GM. To me, that was kind of surprising in a way because I don't see the GM getting fired halfway or at the end of the season. I mean, going into the playoffs, there's not much more he can do. I would have rather that happen in the offseason. There's not much more he can do right now. Can't go out and trade for anybody. Maybe you can go out and sign somebody, but I mean, there's really nobody out there to sign for the remainder of the year or for a playoff roster spot. But hey, they got balls, man. They did it. They're trying to light a spark under their team going into the playoffs. I'm seeing the silver lining for both teams here. Will it pay off? I don't know. I think it may pay off for Denver more than Memphis. I will say that. I really do think that. But then the question comes. This NBA movement, this coaching carousel that we've seen in the last few weeks with Taylor Jenkins and now Mike Malone. How many more moves are we going to see? How many more moves are we going to see? From the coaching carousel to the players. Well, guess what? We have Building the Brand, Building the Roster, brought to you by MCS General Contracting. When we get back, we're going to build rosters here. We're going to see who's in for next season and who's on the move, to include your Spurs here. As we're heading into the playoffs of the NBA season, drama after drama after drama. Let's look a little bit towards next year. When we get back, we're going to build the brand here with MCS General Contracting, proud sponsors of Sweep the League. We'll be back, guys. Are you looking for a contracting company that gets the job done right the first time? Look no further than MCS General Contracting. MCS specializes in top quality concrete work, including patios, driveways, foundations, and swimming pools. The team of experts are dedicated to delivering exceptional results and unparalleled customer satisfaction. At MCS General Contracting, they're not just hardworking, they're local. Based in San Antonio, they are committed to building relationships and trust within the community. That's why MCS guarantees your satisfaction. They pride themselves on getting the job done right the first time, every time. So why wait? Contract MCS General Contracting today to schedule your project and experience the difference for yourself. MCS General Contracting, building a better San Antonio, one project at a time. Proud sponsors of Sweep the League.
Hi, I'm Dr. Marianne Pinkston, and I have the podcast, The Better Life with Dr. Pinkston. You can catch me every Saturday as I air a new show. You can follow me on drpbetterlife.com for all of the links and information.
You are watching Sweep the League TV. Make sure you subscribe and catch our new videos.
Sweep the League TV with Rudy Derrick and Coach Kia. Let's get back to the live show. You are watching the best in the business.
I think that, the awkwardness of the timing with only 3 games left and then the playoffs looming. But, it came down to 2 factors. And those 2 factors were side by side in my thinking, which is, one, I have a complete belief and trust in our group of players that are in there. And I have complete trust and belief in our assistant coaches and their ability to step up into different roles. And maybe if their voices are a little louder in certain areas, maybe they can squeeze some of that juice that I've been talking about.
All right, welcome back to Sweep the League. Rudy Campos Jr. here. Be sure to go to our YouTube page, search Sweep the League TV, hit that subscribe button so you're not left out. Better Life TV coming to Sweep the League Network and I'm Refocused Radio Network with Dr. Pinkston. The doctor will be making house calls to Sweep the League whenever we've got injuries, major injuries for NBA, NFL, somewhere, anything coming up. We're going to be bringing on the doctor. She's going to be having her own show, The Better Life TV. Again, for I'm Refocused Radio Network and Sweep the League Network, the doctor will be making house calls here pretty soon. Don't forget Austin Hartsfield, MLB's own Austin Hartsfield. He will be back from time to time to talk MLB with you guys as he gets prepared to bring Painting Corners podcast back full time next year. So we got to wait a year. You know what? It's like those Avenger movies and all the movies that we're hyped up for. They're in production now. They're filming now. They're getting ready now to be released a year later. Get ready. The Painting Corner podcast is one of the absolute best MLB podcasts. And now it's going to be exclusively on Sweep the League Network as well as I Am Refocused Radio Network. How is that possible? Because of MCS General Contracting. You can see now the sponsor logo is over here. There it is. The sponsor logo right there. Again, the exclusive sponsor for Sweep the League Network, as well as I'm Refocused Radio Network, made possible. MCS built our brand, basically. They helped us expand. They can help you guys get the perfect dream come true. Call Leha and the boys, MCS General Contracting, proud sponsors of Sweep the League. And speaking of MCS General Contracting, let's start building this here. So these are the things that have happened this NBA season here. Obviously, Luka Doncic traded. That was a shocker. De'Aaron Fox to San Antonio happened. You know what? I don't care what a lot of people say out there. Go back to our old Sweep the League pages. Back in the NBA draft of last year, before Stephon Castle became a Spur, our very own Derek Gervin was talking about, and he said De'Aaron Fox will be a Spur. So if you want to claim to be that you're the first person to announce it, I'll give you credit. You do whatever you want to do. I've got what the kids call, and that's receipts. We've been calling this for a long time. We said it was going to happen for a long time. And, we weren't surprised by it. So if you've listened to Sweep the League, that long already, then you already knew it was going to happen. You shouldn't be surprised by it. But De'Aaron Fox, San Antonio happened. The NBA season has, ho-hummed along, and, we've got a lot of, let me get to the comments here before I go on. Jacob Eric's grading the market, Sweep the League going, grading the market there. Jacob Eric is in here. I'm in here. Joel Clone, what about Jokic doesn't finish his career with the Nuggets now? We'll get into that in a minute. Or I guess he signed off on this then. Yeah, that's true. Poodle Blue Devils, Poodle heartbreak, Tim. I'm sorry about your Blue Devils, man, but that was a big-time heartbreak. And John G, of course, crazy NBA season. Appreciate everybody joining us here. Let's get into some of this here. So, again, building the brand by MCS General Contracting here. Luka traded, De'Aaron Fox, San Antonio. Taylor Jenkins gets fired. Then you got Mike Malone. This has probably been the most active NBA season when it comes to bigger names, being fired in the coaching ranks, all the way to, top 5 players in the league being traded in Luka Doncic. So I'm going to tell you guys right now, I think if you think this has been a crazy NBA season, get ready for the offseason. We're going to go through the offseason right now. Get ready for the offseason because I firmly believe, as I look in the mirror, the magic ball here, I firmly believe this is going to be a very active offseason. I've been saying that the Spurs are going to be massively, massively active in this offseason. This was the offseason. Now, I thought they were getting De'Aaron Fox in the offseason, so they got him early, obviously. Can they make more moves? I think they still make more moves here. They're going to have 2 first-round picks in this draft. Most recently, I was on Locked On Spurs with our good friend Jeff Garcia, and we talked about that. We talked about it, and that was actually yesterday's episode of Locked On Spurs. I remember I asked Jeff, do you think they use both first-round picks this year? He said no, and I agree, probably not. I actually think they may trade the higher one to get another player. And I'm talking possibly, guys that we're going to mention here. But in the NBA offseason coming up, I think it's going to be super active. Nick Nurse is probably going to be fired in Philadelphia. He just can't make it work with Embiid, Paul George, and Maxey. That's the first guy that's going to, that's another guy, another championship winning coach that's going to be on the market. Mike Budenholzer. I think he's done. That entire team, I think, is done. So those are 2 coaches right off the bat that I think are more than likely going to be done. The idea is, I'm going to throw this out there. I think really Steve Kerr, not fired, not let go, but if he doesn't get to the playoffs as, a top 6 seed, that hurts. But I think if he doesn't win the first round, his seat gets super duper hot. That's so crazy. I'm making the comment about Steve Kerr. And then we've got Joel in here. We read minds, man. We got the ESPN thing going between us, or the ESP, whatever those kids call it. Yes, Tim, I'm very happy that Duke lost. Of course I'm happy. You know I am. What's going to be next? Steve Kerr gets fired. Spoelstra gets fired. Human sacrifices, cats and dogs living together. Mass hysteria. Ghostbusters. Hashtag Ghostbusters. Yeah, I love that, man. I love that comment. You always bring the fire, Joel. I love it, man. Appreciate that. But I mentioned Steve Kerr. I think if Steve doesn't get out of the first round, that seat gets super duper hot. Massively hot. And the other guy you mentioned, Spoelstra. I'm wondering if that marriage is starting to falter a little bit here. So the Mike Malone firing kind of just set the precedence for everybody. It just made everybody's job that much harder to keep. Because if I can get rid of a potentially top 3 in the West, if I can get rid of that coach, a guy fresh off of a title run 2 years ago, then so-and-so can get rid of this coach. 2 names, Steve Kerr and Spoelstra. Depends on what happens in the offseason, in the playoffs right now. Can Spoelstra get the Heat into the playoffs? They're in the play-in tournament. Can he get them into the playoffs? Steve Kerr, can he get past that first round? Those are 2 names. Now, I mentioned Nick Nurse definitely is probably going to be fired. Budenholzer, I think, is another one that's going to be fired at the end of the year. So those are your coaches. Now, Spurs fans, when it comes to coaches, you got to wonder what's going on with Greg, with Pop. Is Pop going to stick around? Does he hang it up? I mean, if there's ever a time where Pop says, you know what, I think I'm going to hang it up, this is the perfect time. This is the perfect storm. Because you already got Taylor Jenkins, Spurs ties. Now you've got Mike Malone, fresh off an NBA title a couple of years ago. Saw what he did with Denver. The potential of Nick Nurse from being fired in Philadelphia. I mean, won a title in Toronto. Now, Coach Bud, I mean, and you're talking about Coach Bud, another titleless with Milwaukee. So this coaching free agent market might be pretty damn good going into this offseason. So if there's ever a time to think, okay, maybe Pop's going to retire, this is the perfect time. The perfect storm when it comes to coaches right now. I don't think they can or should fire Kerr after all the championships, though, but they could strongly encourage him to step down. I think it's more of a, let's part ways type of thing. Now, if that happens, Joe, you throw Steve into the fire. Now, me personally, look, we talk serious and we talk honestly and brutally here on Sweep the League. Whatever we say, we mean no disrespect, period. If we get disrespected, we just stay quiet. We make little subtle hints here and there. But we back up a lot of what we say. We don't say stuff to just move the needle. We don't say stuff just to get likes or views or anything like that. To me, that's all BS stuff. I don't care about that. I don't need any of that. But I will say this much. I've never really been a big Steve Kerr guy. Great. Now, personality-wise, a person, I like Steve. I actually met Steve Kerr one time. It was a hi type thing. Hey, Steve, how you doing? Oh, good, good. Walking by. That was it. I mean, nothing big. Really good guy. As a coach, it's one of those things where, okay, I don't see enough in coaching. When you look at a guy like Eric Spoelstra, he's really done a lot with a lot less. I mean, getting to the NBA Finals, a couple of years back with, a team that was pretty much left for dead. Spoelstra's a hell of a coach. Steve Kerr's a great coach. He's a good coach, but, you ask a lot of people out there, some of them may tell you he's a bit overrated as a coach. But could he be fired at the end of the year if they don't get, past the first round of the playoffs? Again, man, that Mike Malone firing should prove that anything can happen on the coaching ranks, just like the Luka trade can prove that anything can happen on the player ranks, no matter who you are. Got to keep all that in mind. I think John G earlier said it's a crazy NBA season. I mean, hell, you got Detroit back in the playoffs. No one expected that. I told Derek they're going to be good this year. I didn't think that. I thought they would be playing good. I didn't think they were going to be playoff good, but they're playing. I figured out they'll be playing good. They'll be there. I expected a lot more out of Orlando. They were playing, but I expected a lot more out of them. But coaching ranks, man, it's going to be a brutal offseason for coaching. Now look at players. You think coaching? You think coaches are going to get moved and, the carousel is going to be, hoeing and humming away? Look at players. Sorry, if you can't tell my voice, I've got allergies kicking my ass tonight. Look at a player. I mean, we're going to throw players out there. Kevin Durant. He's not going to be a Sun. He's pretty much done in Phoenix. Where does he go? The 76ers, I mean, as much as I'd love for them to really just rebuild around Maxey, get rid of Embiid and Paul George, they're probably going to get rid of Paul George. Now, again, a guy that's probably not going to command a whole lot of money. No one's going to want to give him a whole big contract. They may just cut him. Paul George is another one on the market there. Ja Morant, I fully believe, is not going to be in Memphis. I think they're going to rebound. I mean, they're going to rebuild. Shout out to MCS General Contracting for building it. They're going to rebuild around Jaren Jackson Jr. They're going to get all they can for Ja Morant. I really do not see Ja Morant with Memphis very much longer. Domantas Sabonis from Sacramento. I see him on the trade block, or I see him being moved in this offseason. I don't think he likes the way Sacramento's playing. They had a really good run last year. They cannot build off of that. I don't see Sabonis being with the Kings anymore. New Orleans, I'm sure, is tired of Zion. I expect Zion to be moved this offseason. New Orleans is going to rebuild that entire team. So fully expect Zion to be another casualty. So we're talking Paul George. We're talking the possibilities of John Morant, Domantas Sabonis, Kevin Durant, Zion Williamson. I don't think they move Booker in Phoenix, but who knows, right? They could. Those are 5 guys right there that I fully expect to start to make some kind of traction. Let's not forget, I really think Charlotte needs to move LaMelo, and I think he's another guy that's going to be talked about. LaMelo Ball is going to probably be dangled out there to see what kind of return he could bring back. Charlotte's been in hell for a while. There's no reason to keep LaMelo and just go the exact same direction you have been going. It's time to fully rebuild again in Charlotte. I love Charles Lee out there. But I mean, some of these teams are probably going to go after guys like Taylor. You know, more than likely, Mike Malone's going to get a whole bunch of offers. If you end up seeing Nick Nurse bolt or fired, I mean, you're going to get another guy right there. So LaMelo Ball's another one that's probably going to end up being moved in the offseason. I mean, you're talking, what, Durant. Sabonis is like a potential. I mean, he should have been an all-star, but Sabonis. You got LaMelo. Again, all-star caliber player in LaMelo. I mean, the names in this offseason are going to be ridiculously crazy. Got Joel in here. PG spends too much time on his podcast and brand instead of playing ball. There should be a rule prohibiting that kind of crap during the season. I understand your frustration. If you can't focus 100% on the team, which pays you $50 million a year, then get the F out with your crappy podcast. You cry baby. Yeah. It's the social media world, man. We've talked about that so much on so many shows here on Sweep the League. It's all social media driven, man. You're building your brand and you care more about that than you do playing basketball. That pays you money. That's what Kevin Garnett said. You know, Kevin Garnett's like, man, guys that today couldn't play 20 years ago. There's no way they could have played 20 years ago. I'm going to bring that up probably tomorrow if we do a show tomorrow. I mean, it's going to come up. But let's build the brand with MCS General Contracting. Proud sponsors of Sweep the League. Contact Chris Leha and the boys today. MCS General Contracting, building a better San Antonio one day at a time. Contact them today. Building the brand here. So Spurs fans, with all this potential. No, forgot to mention, don't forget about Giannis. I mean, if Giannis isn't completely happy, there's another guy that you can get an inquiry about. I mean, yeah, Giannis is the one guy you think he's super loyal. They're not going to, he is Milwaukee. He is Milwaukee. But the Luka deal means we don't care who anybody is. If we got to make a move, we make a move. But Spurs fans, who are you thinking out there? I see Durant, but I'm team no Kevin Durant. I mean, you can get him on a 2-year deal. I think he's got 2 years remaining. You can get him on that 2-year deal before you've got to extend Victor Wembanyama on his max deal. But I don't think that we need to go back to. I don't think we need to go for Durant. There's one guy I really don't want to come to San Antonio. Not that I don't think he fits. I just think it moves the needle, but it doesn't move it in, the direction of like guaranteed contenders. It's like, okay, definitely play in, more than likely play off. Then you're back in that middle realm of things where you're not bad enough to be shitty and in the lottery, which you don't want to be in, but you're not good enough to get to the promised land right away. I've been saying go after Giannis if you can. Giannis is my first choice. Even though he may not be available, inquire about him. You never know. You've got 2 first-round picks this year. And then you can give away whatever you want. You want to give 4 first-rounders for Giannis, do whatever you want. That's the one guy that I want to look at. Now, does Mike Malone firing mean Joker's available? Man, I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. I don't care if you are the worst player in the NBA. I don't care. And I don't care if you're SGA or Nikola Jokic. Every player can be had for the right deal. Every player. Loyalty. There's no such thing as loyalty anymore. And you know what? There's never been loyalty. I guarantee you, Jerry Krause had calls on Michael Jordan. He might have even thought about a couple of deals like, wow, this could set us up for years. A general manager will lie to your face if he says that he's never considered deals for his best player. Not made him, not said he would do them, but considered it. You want to throw loyalty out there? We've been saying, Tim was Orlando bound. One of the most loyal guys in San Antonio history was bound for Orlando for a while there. David Robinson, super loyal to San Antonio, still is. Did they ever get a call about David? I'm sure they got a couple of calls on David. I'm pretty sure they did. Doesn't mean they were going to get rid of him. So loyalty doesn't mean a whole lot. So that's what I'm getting with the Giannis thing. Make the call. Hey, we got 4 first. We'll give you Devin. We'll give you this. We'll give you that. Is that enough? More than likely, it's no. No, that's not enough. We appreciate it. You have to inquire. That's the thing. You got to inquire. But Spurs fans out there, what do you think? You've got all these guys that are going to be available. Tons of guys. 2025 is going to be a crazy offseason. You're going to hear big names being thrown out there. You're going to hear names being said and maybe rumored here and there. Durant, I think Durant ends up in Houston. If we're being serious, I think he ends up in Houston. They can give, a great deal to Phoenix in exchange for Durant. So I really firmly believe he ends up in Houston. Does Chris Paul stay with the Spurs? I know Locked On Spurs, Jeff Garcia, and myself talked about that yesterday. Well, the other day on Locked On Spurs. Mentioned about Chris Paul. I mean, I don't think he stays with the Spurs unless he feels he has an opportunity to win a title here. But the guy wants to start. I don't think he's starting material right now for the Spurs. I think your backcourt is set with Stephon Castle and De'Aaron Fox, and that's what it should be for the remainder of their career. There's no other backcourt. Would you inquire about Dame instead of Giannis? Why I ask? I think we need a tag type player. I honestly don't see that. See Giannis as that. So with Dame, I fully like that move, but the problem with Dame is that where do you put him? I mean, do you put Stephon, have him come off the bench, which I don't like. I like Stephon Castle in the starting 5. You could go De'Aaron, Stephon, Dame, trio in the backcourt. But I mean, then you're almost forced to start Jeremy Sohan and Wemby together. So I'll be honest, I love Dame, but I would take Giannis only because in San Antonio, I feel with Giannis in San Antonio, Joel, it slows the game down for him and it simplifies the game for Giannis Antetokounmpo in San Antonio. What do I mean by simplify? Doesn't have to have the ball in his hand the entire time. Can run up and down the court on a fast break with guys like Stephon Castle and De'Aaron Fox. So that fast break right there, a 3-on-2 fast break, pretty much unstoppable with those two guys on the wings for De'Aaron Fox. Not only that, he's not the focal point of an offense like he is in Milwaukee. So again, for me, Giannis is a better player for me away from the ball on the offensive side. It'll simplify his game because you're going to be having Wemby, De'Aaron Fox running the point. Wemby, pick and roll. Giannis cutting to the basket. Great. I mean, he can jump out the gym. So his rebounding totals are going to go probably sky high. He's going to get a lot more easier baskets with the Spurs than he currently is with Milwaukee. So you're going to get same Giannis, all the great, dunks, scoring, but he's not going to have to work so hard for it. So it's going to be a way better fit. And that's personally me. That's personally me on the Giannis talk. That's why I would rather go after Giannis than Dame. Now, Dame, pure shooter. I mean, something the Spurs need. They need shooting. But I just see too much of a crowded backcourt. And I feel like the lineup just wouldn't work with Dame, De'Aaron Fox, and Stephon Castle in that backcourt. And I don't want to put Steph on the bench. Obviously not going to bench De'Aaron. Dame won't accept, I don't think he'll accept that 6-man role. So personally me, that's why I'd go with Giannis, man. Giannis in San Antonio, he says, I could see that. And John G says, yeah. So yeah, for me, Giannis in San Antonio, 100% makes more sense, more than anybody that's going to be a free agent, or not a free agent, but anybody that may be available. So make that inquiry. And the reason why is because, again, you've got MVP potential and MVP caliber every single year with Giannis Antetokounmpo. Imagine if he doesn't have to work so hard to get his points and to get his stats, that it comes easy for him. That you're going to see a rejuvenated player. He doesn't have to carry the entire team on his back nightly. Now it's like you're taking the weight of this and the weight of that away from him. I guarantee you one thing, his defense is going to be leaps and bounds better for Giannis here. I think with Wemby behind him, it's going to be better. People are not going to want to get to the basket knowing Wemby's there, which means Giannis's defense would definitely be a whole lot better here in San Antonio. Miles Turner's a good one. Now, the thing with Indiana, I'm going to get into the Indiana talk here, is if there's a player on Indiana available, it's more than likely Benedict Mathurin that you could have. I don't know if Miles Turner would be made available, but if he is, I could see Turner here. I like Turner. Funny because Derek Gervin and I talked about Miles Turner a long time ago, pairing him with Wemby. There wasn't very many negatives that we could see. Like, there's no negatives that we could see. And yeah, Miles Turner, you got it right, bud. We didn't see any bad stuff there. But I think we both felt that it would just not be a good fit, I think. I think Turner's a guy that, he wants the ball in his hands. And good defender. I mean, really good defender, can score. But are we kind of getting the same type of player that we are in Wemby? Now, forget the height. But if you're thinking about it, we're kind of getting the same type of player with Wemby. As if you were having Giannis, you're not getting that same type of player. You're getting, I mean, again, when I throw names out there, don't get all mad. They're way better. But with Giannis, you're getting, back in the day, you're getting that Bobby Jones type of guy, just running up and down, getting baskets left and right, playing some hard-nosed defense for you younger kids out there, for your middle-aged guys. You're looking at like an Andre Karolinko, a Detlef Schrempf type of player, Tom Chambers type of player with Giannis Antetokounmpo, guys that came in, they just did everything that you needed them to do to be successful. And they were stars. I mean, Bobby Jones was a major star. I mean, you're talking, Detlef Schrempf was one of the greatest European players, at his time right there. I mean, you're getting those types of guys, all-star guys that, could make all-star teams. And that's why I think you get out of Giannis. And now Miles Turner, I think you get the same type of player that you already have in Wemby. So will it work? It'll work. I just don't know how well it would work. And yeah, I think at one point they did try to get Miles Turner already. It was a few years back. I want to say it was pre-Wemby, if I'm not mistaken. Pre-Wemby that they did try. But I mean, Miles Turner on the team, again, I'm not opposed to it. Another big man. But I think you get the same type of player compared to other guys. I mean, if we're going down the thing, I wouldn't even mind Domantas Sabonis. I mean, if you guys want to chew on that for a little bit, I wouldn't mind Domantas Sabonis being a San Antonio Spur. Why not? You've already got De'Aaron Fox. Why not go back into the well and see if you can get Domantas there? Domantas makes a whole hell of a lot of sense for the San Antonio Spurs. Can knock down the mid-range, gets to the basket, plays defense, rebounds like crazy. That is your low post threat right there. Then you can kind of have Victor play that pick and pop game, knowing you've got a player like Sabonis, underneath the basket. Worked super well with De'Aaron Fox. So my list right now that I want to inquire in the offseason, because again, 2025, 2026 season is going to be, it's going to be the turnaround. I really feel that's the turnaround year for the Spurs. Saying it for a while now. You guys had to wait till next season. Next season's almost here. This is the one where they make the change. So I knew it wasn't going to be a good season this year. There was nothing on paper that said they were going to be a 40-win team, 44-win team, nothing like that. I had them at 30. They're at 32. I think the high I had them on was 35. But I really had them at 30 wins. So nothing on paper told me they were going to be, this barn-burning team. Nothing. Even after De'Aaron Fox, I still didn't feel they were going to get into the playoffs. Maybe play in, but not the playoffs. But anyway, back to the other subject here. My off-season list is Giannis and then Domantas. Those two guys are two guys that I'm like, you know what? I'm willing to give you those draft picks for them. I doubt you can go get Larry Marketing. I don't know what Danny Ainge and those guys are doing in Utah right now. But I those are the two guys that I'm circling on my big board in the offseason. I've got tons of draft capital. I've got some young players that I could send in return. But this draft capital that I have, I can make it work. Easily, I can make it work and make it worth your while. Yeah, so Miles Turner was pre-Victor Wembanyama. And if it was for some playoff experience at best, yeah. I mean, the thing is, you bring one of these guys in, then you're a playoff team. I would say minimum play-in, but you're a playoff team. Playoff team with one of these guys. This season was a playoffs experience at best. Yeah. I mean, so with Spurs season coming into this year, CP3, Harrison Barnes, at the beginning of the year, I thought, okay, it's veteran experience. You're bringing in the guys who have won before, not necessarily titles, but who have won, who have the playoff experience in them. They're educating the younger fellas and getting them ready. That's all they did. Now, again, Spurs fans don't get all beat up about it. You went from 22 wins last year, with a rookie Victor, to 32 wins this year. I don't care about play in, playoff, or any of that. That's a 10-game turnaround. Where, you've got teams that will win 20 games this year, 21 next year, 19 this year, 22 in 2 years. Those are not great turnarounds. 22 wins is 10 more wins than last year. Now, they can build upon it. Are they going to be better than 32 wins next year? As the current team is assembled, probably good for 39, 40 wins. I would say maybe another 7 more wins. Spurs fans look at one thing. They suck. They suck. If Spurs fans really pulled back the curtain, said, you know what? There were 22 wins last year. They're at 32 this year. They've got 4 games left on the year, on the season. Can they get to that 35 win? Even if they get 2 more wins, a 12-game turnaround is really good. In my opinion, it's really good. It shows you're on the right path still. Now, next year, you went from 22 to 32, possibly 34. And they could end with 36. But say they stay at 34. You got a 12-game turnaround. You just got to get to 40. Maybe 42 to get to the play-in. De'Aaron Fox in a full season with the Spurs can add that extra 8 games that you would need. Yeah, it's about the perspective of things. It's 10-game turnaround. Be happy about that. It could be worse. They could be back to 22 wins again, 21 wins again. Everybody be screaming, how can this roster be 21 wins? It's not that good. It's better than last year. And it shows. 32 wins so far. Look at the bigger picture. Don't look at what's going on. Hell, you don't even have a guy that's probably going to be a coach full time for them. It's a rookie coach. The season is a wash. The season didn't go anywhere the way anybody planned it to. You're talking no pop. Victor goes down. De'Aaron goes for surgery. It's just one of those seasons. But even at that, I had him at, like I said, 35 wins at the most. And to me, a 13-game turnaround was amazing already. Rudy Campos Jr. for Sweep the League TV. Be sure to go to our YouTube page here, Sweep the League TV. Quick update here, guys. I will be out of town Thursday through Friday. As of right now, Thursday and Friday, those shows are going to be brought to you by Jacob Eric, Grading the Market, host of Sweep the League on Sweep the League Network. He should have a guest with him those 2 days, so he's going to be coming to you in the evening there. Tomorrow night, we're going to see. It's either going to be a Grading the Market show with Jacob Eric, or we may actually get both in. I may do one during the day, or maybe sometime in the early evening. We can also work with Jacob Eric. So needless to say, Thursday and Friday, Jacob Eric should be taking care of you guys here. He's going to be coming in, subbing in, tag teaming, tagging in, for whatever, Sweep the League or whatever he wants to do here. He's one of the hosts here for the network. And then tomorrow, it's either going to be Jacob Eric or myself. Who knows? Maybe it'll be both, but we will see. So that's the schedule for the week. Also, you can follow us on Sweep the League Network. Be sure to go to YouTube, Sweep the League Network. Hit that subscribe button. Why? We are 24/7 streaming across not just YouTube, but a ton of other. Vaughn TV is another one that we are a part of. We are on a ton of streaming services, and we're not done thanks to MCS General Contracting. We've got more announcements to come. And the only way for you to get those announcements is to join Sweep the League TV. It's free. We don't charge anything. You can be a member. You can be whatever. You can be a follower, however you want. Just go to Sweep the League TV on YouTube. Search Sweep the League TV. Hit that subscribe button. That way you are a subscriber. Also on I Am Refocused Radio. All sponsored and all powered by MCS General Contracting. Same time. So as of right now, Should be the same time at 9 o'clock. Just hit that notification button, Joel. That way you can get the notification on there and you'll know when we go live. But again, you've got 24/7 Sweep the League all the time. And it's just not us. It's all of the shows that we got. And then including the other shows that are going to be joining us here. Better Life TV with Dr. Pinkston. You've got Painting Corners podcast, again, full-time next year, kind of part-time this year. Got a couple more shows that are actually going to be joining us on board. So you guys will never get tired of Sweep the League Network or Iron Refocused Radio Network. So again, be sure to go to our page, YouTube page, Sweep the League TV, hit that subscribe button. That way you are not left out in the cold. But for Derek Gerb, for Coach Gio, for everybody a part of Sweep the League Network and Iron Refocused Radio Network, this is Rudy Campos Jr. signing off. And until we see you guys again, maybe tomorrow, but definitely next week, you guys be safe out there. Enjoy y'all's week. Again, Jacob Eric will be taking you guys for the rest of the week here. We'll see you later, knuckleheads.
Some are born with silver spoons in their mouth. I was born without a house and the access is south in your mouth. Might get fixed to say some slick shit, but please know we known for fights and clips and shit we slick with. In story time I sound like Slick Rick, but the animals get mad at you, emotions turn tangible, and then I hope your casket movable. A fully automatic getting emptied out and taking half of you. Don't hold your nose.
Your destination. Vision on the court, watch my plays take action. Fast break, hustle, yeah, I'm built to compete. Defense locked in, I'm the soul of the street. Court vision crazy, I'm balling in the zone. Step back, jumper, yeah, I'm cold like stone. 2025 moves my game, got finesse. Leave it all on the floor, you know I'm the best.